Concerning this issue that we're going to deal with tonight, it's a really important issue, no doubt. I really don't know what it is about the Muslim community, the Ummah, since I've been a Muslim in 1986. People have a fascination with the issue of a Dajjal, and that fascination is in its proper place because of the danger of the Dajjal, what he poses as a problem, which you're going to hear, inshallah. But at the same time, although he's dangerous, you'll find that many of us are muqbilun, muqassirun in regards to this issue of studying about a Dajjal and being upon our P's and Q's in regards to the Dajjal. Growing up as a non-Muslim, when our parents, our relatives wanted to scare us, they used to tell us about the boogeyman. You guys call it the bogeyman here in the UK. They call it the boogeyman over in America. And I found and I heard some Muslims also scaring their people about the Dajjal and making him synonymous with the boogeyman. And that's haram. And it doesn't serve the purpose. What we should do is tell them the reality of the Dajjal. There's one of the tremendous tabi'een. His name is Tawus ibn Kaysan al-Yamani, rahmatullahi alayhi. He was from the tremendous ulama from the tabi'een. As it relates to the issue of the Dajjal, his son, when he was young, his son would pray and he would ask his son, because the father has to be after his son, has to be after his children. The mother has to be after her son, after her daughter. You have to be asking them, what are you doing? Did you do your homework? Did you pray? Did you make wudu? Who you hanging out with? What happened in school today? Were you bullied today? Anybody touch you inappropriately? We have to be like that with that. So this tremendous man asked his son, after his son finished praying, did you seek refuge in Allah from the Dajjal? The boy said no. The father said, go back and repeat your prayer. It's important to understand that if a person doesn't seek refuge in Allah from the Dajjal after his prayer is sahihah, it's accepted inshallah. But there is a hadith where the Prophet ﷺ commanded, إِذَا تَشَهَّدَ أَحَدُكُمْ فَلْيَسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ أَرْبَعٍ. If one of you people prays and you come to التَّحِيَّاتُ لِلَّهِ وَالصَّلَوَاتُ وَالطَّيِّبَاتِ, before you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, he says, seek refuge in Allah from 4 things. So before a person comes out of his prayer, it is the sunnah for him to say, oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the knot of Jahannam. I seek refuge in you from the adab of the qabr. I seek refuge in you from the fitna of al-mahya wal-mamat, all of the fitna of living and dying. There's not a person here, I don't know most of you, but everybody here has a lot of fitna. Everybody. I don't say only one person has some fitna. Each and every person here has a lot of fitna that he has to deal with. Third thing, I seek refuge in you from the fitna of al-mahya wal-mamat. And I seek refuge in you in the shar of the fitna of the Masih ad-Dajjal. So that hadith goes to show one of the ways that a person can protect himself from the Dajjal, who is a tremendous fitna, is every single day, 5 times a day at least, he's going to seek refuge in Allah from the fitna of the Masih ad-Dajjal. It's important. So when the Prophet told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, after standing on the minbar and praying in front of everybody, and then after the salah, he said to them, Sallu kama ra'aytumuni usalli, pray the way you just saw me praying. If the brand spanking new Muslim came into the mosque just now and said, you teach me how to pray, can you teach him the prayer of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Or do you just know the prayer that you learned? The prayer that your mother and your father taught you? The prayer of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is, whether it was the Fard prayer or the Sunnah prayer, Qiyamul Layl, whether it was Jummah, whether it was the Eid prayer. Before doing the Taslim, he sought refuge in Allah Azza wa Jalla from the fitna of al-Masih ad-Dajjal. The hadith or the athar of the Imam Taus, rahmatullahi alayhi, also goes to show the ihtimam and the inayah, the concern that the Salaf of this ummah used to put upon making sure that they expose their children to a Dajjal. Because right now, especially right now, with social media, there are a lot of people who are talking on the internet and they're talking about these issues. I remember last year, I would guess it was about last year, there was this thing going around on the internet, social media, called the arrivals. The arrivals. I think many of you heard of it. Many people were looking at that religiously, and it was a lot of nonsense. Khurafat and bid'ah and shirk. Knowledge that is not from our religion, has nothing to do with our religion. So instead of me as a parent leaving my son or my daughter to expose himself and to get fiqh about such a serious issue from people who they don't even know, is it a jinn behind the screen? Is it a Yehudi behind the screen? Is it a Nasrani behind the screen? They don't know. They're going to get their knowledge from the arrivals? No. Father got to learn about this issue and has to sit down and spend some quality time with his children. Ikhwani, as it relates to our responsibility as Muslims and as parents, we have a lot of responsibility. Kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ul an ra'iyati. And one of those responsibilities is to expose our children to this religion. And there's a lot. And from them, this issue right here. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sitting with his companions and he was telling them about the Dajjal. And they were focusing on what he was saying. They were paying attention. For some reason, he looked to his right and no one knew why, but they all looked to their left. When he looked back at them, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said to them, what's the problem? What's the matter? Because they looked afraid, they looked terrified. They say, Ya Rasulullah, you were telling us about the Dajjal and then you looked over there, so we looked and we thought he was going to come out and we were afraid. Based upon what he was telling them prior to looking, we were afraid. He told them, sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam, ma alaykum, law kharaja wa ana fikum, fa ana hajijukum min dunihi, wa in kharaja wa ana lastu fikum, fa kull imri'in hajij nafsihi. Don't worry. As long as I'm here, if that Dajjal came out while I'm with you, Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Ukash, and so forth and so on, Radwanullahi alayhim, I will defend you against him. I'm going to deal with him. But if he comes out and I'm not here, then each and every one of you will be a defender of himself. You'll be responsible for himself. Now that's a fitna. It's a fitna in of itself because number one, that hadith goes to show the importance of the companions. And that they were with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they had a divine protection from the Dajjal. Because if he came out and the Nabi was with them, salawatullahi wassalamu alayhi, he's going to protect them. Not because he has any power or strength or he has some super duper ability. No, because Allah will allow that. Not from himself. So that's a hadith that shows the virtues of the companions. And it shows the danger of the Dajjal in that if the Prophet is not here, then everybody's going to be responsible for himself. And we're living in a time right now where a person can come right here in this masjid, right here, and pay people off to lie on other Muslims. Somebody wants his visa to get accepted. He didn't get a visa to be a citizen yet. These non-Muslims will come to people in this masjid, right here, in other masjids, and offer people, I'll give you your visa, just tell us. And a person that makes stuff up against people, and he's lying. What about the Dajjal? One of the fitness of the Dajjal is when he does come out, there's going to be no rain, there's going to be a serious drought. So when he comes out, the people who have animals, the animals are going to be dying. The people who have crops, their crops are going to be dying. When the Dajjal comes out, the one who believes in him, his animals would give birth to other animals and his crop will start to grow. And the one who says, I'm not believing in that guy. I got the right aqidah. I know what the Quran says. I know what the Sunnah says. I'm not believing in that guy. That person, his crops are going to die and his animals are going to die. So if a person, the main thing to him is filling up his stomach and satisfying his shahwa, his desires, when the Dajjal comes, it's easy for him to take him off. Easy. Easy, wallahi. The Nabi told us, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and this is the unique thing about the Dajjal. All of the other 9 major signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah from the Ashrat al-Kubra, the 10 major signs that Dajjal is from them, all 9 other than the Dajjal, all of them encouraging people to say La ilaha illallah al-Iman. All of them. The Dabba, Ya'juj and Ma'juj, all of them. The sun rising from the west said everything is encouraging people to believe in Allah. Al-Dajjal is the only one that is encouraging people to disbelieve in Allah, because he's going to say, I'm Allah, I'm your Lord. I'm your Lord. So from his fitting is, as the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, someone's mother that he loves, like I love my mother, may Allah guide her to Al-Islam and guide her to the Sunnah. Some of us who love our fathers, like I do, may Allah guide him to Islam and the Sunnah, not just to Islam and some craziness with all this craziness with the Muslims, cursing the companions. No, I don't want that. Because I'll be an enemy to my mother and my father if they cursed Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, and Ali. If my mother and my father cursed Abu Bakr and Uthman and Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, I'm going to take them as an enemy. I want them to come to Islam, to Tawheed, to the Sunnah, to the way of those companions. Radwanullah alayhim. The Nabi said that when the Dajjal comes, he's going to say to a person whose mother and father are dead, or they may be about to die, will take on the form of his mother and father. The mother and father will say, hey, he is your Lord. I'm dead. I'm seeing. This is Allah. This is Allah. He'll have the ability to trick you. And then the person will say, yes, I believe. So if his Islam and his Aqeedah is khurafat, his Islam is crazy. Bring some of these Muslims who believe that the Nabi of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Hazir Nazir. He is omnipotent. He's everywhere at the same time. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam knows the ilm al-ghayb. The Nabi of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all of this stuff that the Muslims say about him, things that we believe, like Dajjal would find it easy pushing people like that off of the square. But there may be a Muslim who, he makes mistakes. He's not from the awliya of Allah. He makes dhunub and ma'asi here and there. But he has yaqeen in his aqeedah. A Dajjal won't be able to push him off the square, bi'idhnillah, because he'll have some background knowledge about what was told about that Dajjal. As for the one, his religion is what I call hocus pocus, open sesame. You know, our kids are growing up watching cartoons and they're being exposed to all of this stuff. Now he has to have the right aqeedah. So that Dajjal, ikhwati fillah, is a tremendous fitna and a tremendous problem. A few things we want to share with you here today, and in no shape, form, or fashion are we suggesting or claiming that we're going to deal with everything about the Dajjal today. Even in the Q&A, there's so much to learn about him. That's why I want to bring your attention to this issue. You may not memorize all of the Quran like the Qari of your masjid, hafidhullah wa ra'ah. You may not have memorized the 40 hadith of an Imam an-Nawawi even, and you never read all of Riyadh al-Salihin. You may not be a scholar, an overall scholar of this religion, but you can be a scholar in one aspect of Islam. You can learn about everything there is to know about that adhan. So if we need to ask a question about the adhan, we're going to go to Brother Bilal, because he is a scholar of the adhan. And the other one is a scholar in al-wudu. And another one is a scholar in this or that or that. So you may not be an overall scholar about every science from the ulum of al-Islam, but you can know a lot about one subject. You can be a scholar about the Dajjal. Al-Imam Ahmed, rahmatullahi alayhi, Al-Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal, he was of the opinion that believing in the Dajjal is from the Usul of the Sunnah. So he has a book called Usul al-Sunnah. Al-Imam al-Barbahari, Sharh al-Sunnah. Al-Imam al-Ajurri, Kitab al-Sharia. The ulama al-Hadith. The ulama al-Tawheed before, who were the ulama al-Fiqh, those scholars. They used to write books teaching the Muslims about their Aqidah. And they would put in those books what constitutes a person being from the people of the Sunnah. And they all would put the same issues in those books. Like the scholars of Al-Hadith in the past, well, the understanding that anybody who believed in making khuruj against the leader of the Muslims, no matter how bad they are, as long as they're not kuffar, anybody who does that, he's from the people of innovation, he's from the Khawarij, and he used to write about that stuff. They didn't do that in loving those hukam that are dhalama, fasaqa, mujrimeen. They did that because that's what the Sunnah told the people to do. So they made the ta'zeem of the Sunnah, and they wanted to protect the blood of the innocent Muslims from those dhalama. So Imam Ahmed and other than him, Ikhwani, is a very important point. They said al-Iman in the ahadith of the Dajjal is from the Usul of the Sunnah. This is one of the things that they used to believe in. From the fundamentals and the basics of the Aqidah of the Muslim is, you should believe in the Dajjal. It was a very important point. There are some scholars in Islam, bona fide scholars who we love, honor, we respect. Personalities in this religion who didn't believe in the Mahdi. They didn't believe in the Dajjal. They didn't believe Isa ibn Maryam was coming back. And they didn't believe in those things not based upon their desires. They were just astray. Just as we have bona fide scholars who we love, honor, and respect who believe you can do the Mawlid of Prophet Muhammad's birthday, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Things that are clearly innovations. The point here is, number one, when we find scholars who we love and we honor, they go against what is the haqq, we say because they're ulama, they get a reward. We also say because they're not the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we're not listening to them. Number three, if someone from the ummah takes that position, we're not going to be rough and tough, mean and nasty against that person. Because if you say you're an innovator, because you believe in this, you believe in that, then you're going to also have to pass that same ruling on those scholars who took that position. Just regular Ahmad Bakr Zayds from the people, Tom, Dick, and Harry, they say that. Don't be too rough with Muslims who don't have knowledge, and they make those mistakes when people who have knowledge, much more than them, made the same mistake. So if they can make that mistake, those people who are less than them can make those same mistakes. My point is, we have to be tolerant. We have to know how to deal with people. Now, don't get it conflicted and don't get it twisted. That doesn't mean that I'm saying it's an easy issue. No, we have to stay on the truth, give dawah to the haqq, like it who like it, hate it who hate it, but know how to deal with people when they take positions when they're wrong. Don't be rough and tough, and don't be too quick to pass out the card of you're an innovator, you're a non-Muslim. Because some of those ulama, like Imam Ahmed, you'll find narrations where he said, anyone who rejects the ahadith and belief in the Dajjal is a kafir. But he wasn't talking about Ibn Ahmad Bakr and Zayd from the people. Someone who came into Islam brand spanking new. A Bedouin out of the middle of the desert. He doesn't know. An Ajami. He doesn't know his elbow from his own ankle bone. He made that mistake. He wasn't talking about those people. He was talking about the people who had knowledge and the people who were playing with the religion. Ala kullin. Studying this issue, we're not claiming that we're dealing with everything about the issue, but it is important that we take time out every month, every 2 months, 3 months, whatever we talk about is important. Especially in a sitting like this. Because from the signs of the hour is what he says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, inna min ashrat as-sa'ati an la yuzkar ad-dajjal ala al-manabir. From the signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah is that the Dajjal won't be mentioned from the minbar. And he needs to be mentioned from the minbar. Because if that dude was to walk through this door right now, someone here is the richest person. Someone here is the strongest person physically. Someone here has the nicest house here. Someone here has the most money. Someone here has the nice whatever. Someone here is the most religious person. Someone here is the most knowledgeable, most religious. If a Dajjal came through that door, the most religious, most knowledgeable person from amongst us, his Islam is going to be threatened. And that's why if he were to come on the scene, you got to get in the wind and run the other way. Some of us, especially younger brothers, this is a big mushkil, social media. The stage is being set for the Dajjal to come. As the Prophet told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it's going to be a bad cloud, about bad drought. People are going to be hungry, starving like Marvin. They're going to need water. They're looking for a way out. And he's going to come at that time when the people are in need. And he's going to say, if I make it rain, you can believe in me? He'll make it rain. If I bring forth some produce, you going to believe in me? The stage is being set. And with social media makes everybody a keyboard warrior and he's his own scholar. He's just giving his own opinions. Well, I believe with all of the fitna that's going on in Saudi Arabia, the political fitna that those Saudi Arabians are involved in, problems with Qatar, problems with the guy who just got killed recently. They're doing this, they're doing that. The Wali al-Amr, this, that. So a person comes from amongst us and says, I like to opinion that what we should do is boycott them and don't go to Umrah and Hajj. Who are you to say that? Who are you to give that advice? Why do you think so much of yourself that you think it's okay for you to give that advice? And advice like that requires a lot, not from people like myself and you, but the society, what we're living in right now. This is how it is. This is how it is. So Dajjal coming out right now, the stage is being set every day. So that when he does come out, everything that's going on in Iraq and in Sham, all of this in the preparation of a Dajjal, because that's where he's going to come out. According to what the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. So in regards to the Dajjal, a few things we want to mention today. First thing is, there are many fitan in the dunya, many fitan that we have to deal with in our lives. I'm in Liverpool, and in Liverpool I live in beautiful clothes, all Muslims for the most part, but my neighbor to my right and the neighbor to the right of them are now Muslims. The one to my right, they're okay. Afro-Caribbean people, very respectful, elderly people, but next to them are drug dealers. So they're dealing drugs from the house, 2 doors from mine, and the clientele that come are a problem. They make our street dirty. They put all kind of pollution in the street. When my wife is coming back and forth, she has to go around them. One of them kicked the ball over to my backyard and jumped over my backyard, and I saw him. I'm not going to tell you what happened after that because we have to stop the tape. But he jumped in my backyard where the back door can be open and my wife, my daughters can be there. It's a fitna, as the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Fitna of a man is in his wife, is in his car, is in his neighbor, where he lives at. Lot of fitan. We need money, we need this, we need that, we need that. The Nabi mentioned sallallahu alaihi wa sallam, ma bayna khalqi Adam إلى قيام الساعة خلق أكبر من الدجال. The literal translation of this word, of this hadith, is not intended. The meaning of the hadith, he says, since Allah Azza wa Jalla created Adam until Yawm al-Qiyamah, there is no fitna that is bigger than the Dajjal. There's no fitna that you can think of. So as Muslims, the Islamophobia that we're dealing with in the world, the UK, Donald Trump and that kind of thinking, far-right racists, that's a fitna. That stuff is a walk through the park in comparison to the fitna of a Dajjal, because as I said to you, he can come to you and you start doubting your religion. So you remember that. That's why it's worthy of a person saying, Allah, I seek refuge in you and protect me from the fitna of a Dajjal, because anything can happen. He mentioned, sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam, about the Dajjal that And this is why Imam Ahmed and other than him, they felt that al-Iman in the Dajjal was from the Asul of the Sunnah. The fundamentals and the foundation of the Sunnah is from the basis of al-Iman. Because, point number 2, all of the prophets and all of the messengers, without any exception, they came with a dawah to certain things that were the same. They all came with the arkan of al-Iman, believing in Allah and the messenger during that time. They all came calling their people to the salat. All of them came telling the people about zakat, as-sawm and Ramadan. They all came telling the people you have to make hajj, and there's dalil for all of that. All of the prophets, all of the messengers came telling the people about their arkan of al-Iman. Ask the Muslim today, what are the 6 arkan of al-Iman? He may not know there are 6. And those who know, he may not get them in the right order. Believing in Allah, the Malaik and the Kutub and the Rasul and Yawm al-Akhir and belief in the Qadr. He doesn't know that. How in the world you think he's going to be protected from the Dajjal? And that's from the basics of the religion. That if you come to the regular Muslim, you say, Ahi, what are the arkan of al-Islam? 5. He'll say Hajj, Zakat, and that's okay, as long as he knows them. But what's the tartib? What's the order? The 6 arkan of al-Iman. He only knows 2 or 3. A Dajjal will come to that individual and it's a problem. And the Nabi told us that, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Munkar and Nakir, the 2 angels, come to the person in the grave. The one who was a mu'min and he had Iman and Allah gave him tathbeet. When they say, who is your Lord? He's going to say, Allah is my Lord. What's your religion? Islam is my religion. What did you say about that man who came? He's going to say he's Abdullah and Rasulullah. They're going to say sleep the way a new married man sleeps. And then the munafiq, the one who said he was a Muslim, or the kafir, they'll come to him. Who's your Lord? He'll say, ha la adri. What's your religion? Ha la adri. What did you say about that man who was sent to you? He's going to say, I heard the people saying something and I said what they said. I come from a Pakistan Asian family. I'm African. I'm an Arab. I heard my people saying in Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I heard the 12th of Rabi al-Awwal. We did all of this stuff, and he has that. But who was Muhammad? What was his dawah? What was his deen? Some Muslims, Ramadan comes, they don't even know it's Ramadan. All of the Muslims are not bad people. They just were not taught. What's the religion? They don't know. So all of the prophets and all of the messengers called their people to al-Iman billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi wal yawm al-akhir wal iman bil qadr khayrihi wa sharrihi. All of them. All of the prophets and the messengers told their people, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhim, about Rasulullah was coming. Each one told his people, Muhammad is coming. When he comes, I have to take a back seat. I have to believe in him. I have to help him and you also. All of them. All of the prophets and the messengers told their people about the Dajjal. He says, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ma min nabiyyin illa wa qad hadhara qawmuhu min al-Masih al-Dajjal. There was never a Nabi who came except that he warned his people about this problem, about this Dajjal. That's why he's from the Asul of a Sunnah, what we have to believe in. Number 3, Ikhwani fillahi ta'ala, is that in our religion, we have to understand this really important point. We have a lot of Dajjals from our religion, from the lisan of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He mentioned, fi ummati kadhabun, Dajjalun. From my ummah, there will be a number of liars. All of them are Dajjals. He said that their numbers will be 30, and 4 of them will be women. Each of them will say, I'm a Nabi, I'm a Nabi, I'm a Nabi, I'm a messenger, I'm a messenger. He said, وَأَنَا خَاتَمَ النَّبِيِّينَ لَا نَبِيَّ بَعْدِ. And I am the seal of all the prophets. There's no prophet after me. We have to make this distinction and make this very clear. When we hear the word of Dajjal, we're not supposed to think about some other human being who's a criminal, who's a mujrim. In hadith, he was a prolific liar. So Imam Malik ibn Anas said that Abdullah ibn Yahya al-Khuza'i is a kadhab. La yu'khadh minhu. He's a kadhab, Dajjal. Your mind shouldn't go to that guy. Your mind should go to the al-Masih, al-Dajjal. Like the word jihad. Normative Islam is under attack. Normal Islam. My little man, my little nephew with the glasses. What's your name, son? My little man, Ahmed. Strong. You see how he said that? Ahmed. He wasn't afraid. In 10 years, if Ahmed is still in this country, I don't know what Islam is going to look like. In 10 years, normative Islam is under attack. And we have Muslim leaders who are, some of them, too rough and tough. They want to blow everything up and make problems. And then we have the other miscreants and the riffraff who are apologetic. Normal Islam is under attack. Wearing the hijab and so forth and so on. So, when we hear the word jihad, it will become politically incorrect for us to even say that word. I have to say the J word. I had a son recently. I wanted to name him Mujahid. My wife wanted to name him Jihad. I said, oh, that's too shadid. I like Mujahid from the Tabi'een. I said, I can't name him Jihad. She said, come on, we got to be strong. I said, can you imagine if the boy is running through the airport and we say, Jihad, Jihad? You guys are laughing. Do you know what would happen if that were to happen to you? It'll be a problem. Why? Part of it is our fault. Some of the Muslims, how we've been behaving. But the point is, when we say the word jihad, you can't say the word. No. We're going to say that word. But we're going to explain to our community. When we say jihad, we're talking about the jihad of Islam, not the facade of Boko Haram and ISIS and Al-Qaeda and all of that, Taliban and all of that. No. It has its ahkam, it has its adab, it has its people, it has its place, its time. We're going to make it clear. But the situation is so bad right now that you can't say jihad. You can't even say it. Some people don't want to say it. No, we're going to explain it. So when we're reading the Quran and we're getting class about tafsir, we're reading the hadith book, whatever, 40 hadith, we come to the hadith that's mentioned jihad, we got to jump over it. No. But we have to be responsible and explain. So the shahid min al-kalam, the point, when we hear the word ad-dajjal, ينبغي أن تتبادر أذهاننا إلى هذا الدجال. Our mind goes to this dajjal. As for the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in my ummah there are many kadhabun, dajjalun. People from this ummah are called dajjals if they're prolific liars, troublemakers, a dajjal. And they claim prophecy. So listen. Mirza Ghulam Ahmed is a Dajjal from the Qadianis because he claimed to be a Nabi after the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Elijah Muhammad, like you may be from Pakistan, wherever, and because he's from there, you don't like that I mention his name, and I'm not here to make trouble. But as an African American, Elijah Muhammad, Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan, Muhammad Ali used to be with those guys. But then he became a real Muslim. As an African American, you won't allow me to say, yeah, Elijah's okay. When he was saying he's a Nabi, a Rasul, he's a Nabi after Allah. Why is it okay for you to have some affiliation, feel upset when I say Mirza, Ghulam Ahmed, but you get upset with me about that? No, our religion is not like that. That guy claimed a Nabuwa, he's a Dajjal. Usamah al-Kadhab, who was present during the time of the companions Radwanullahi alayhim and present during the time of the Nabi. After Rasulullah died, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Usamah al-Kadhab started saying, I'm a Nabi. He's a Kadhab and he's a Dajjal. So the Dajjal is the big one, the main one, and anyone who is a pathological liar, prolific in his sorcery. He's really bad in leading the people astray. This individual can also be considered to be a Dajjal, but he's not a Dajjal, al-Masih, a Dajjal. In addition to that, inshallah, Azza wa Jal, we want to talk a few things about, and there's a lot to take to take into consideration, where is he going to come out at? Dajjal is not going to come out here in the UK. He'll be able to come to the UK because there's no place in the earth that he won't be able to step foot in, with the exception of Mecca and Medina. And you're telling me we're going to boycott Hajj and Umrah? What are you talking about, man? And that's the difference between the ulama and people who have some knowledge, a little knowledge, or no knowledge. The one who has knowledge, he looks at an issue from all of the angles. From all of the angles. The one who has a little bit of knowledge, he'll look at it just from one angle, and that is, look what they're doing. It's not nice. Look what they're doing. And he may be right in some of what he's saying. But there are other angles. There are other angles. The Nabi told the people and commanded the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man istata'a yamut bil Medina falyaf'al." Anyone who has the ability to die in Al-Medina, let him do so. Just in general. So someone went to the hospital, la samahullah, he went to the hospital. They told him, you have cancer, my man. You have cancer. And based upon what we think, you only have 6 months to live. Go to Medina, man. Go to Medina. You guys are laughing. I hope that's not politically incorrect. I'm not hoping that anybody has cancer. I'm just saying. The Nabi. All right, take that off the table. Okay, that's a bad example. Anybody who has a profession, a degree, where he can use that degree to build buildings, he's a muhandis or something, he's a dentist, a doctor, a teacher, go to Medina and teach in Medina. Is that one more acceptable? I'm sorry about that. Because we do have to say the best thing. Man, that was a bad example. I'm sorry. Point is, why are you telling people to boycott Hajj and Umrah? Because you're just looking at one of the angles. And this is something that I have to share with you, brothers. I have to share this with you. You young people, going to Syria or any of these places, and you want to make jihad, don't do that. You have to sit down with people who know this religion and tell them what's in your heart and what's in your head. Don't make those decisions by yourself. Because our religion is bigger than what you feel and what you think. This religion is based upon justice and truthfulness. وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ صِدْقًا وَعَدْلًا لَا مُبَدِّلْ لِكَلِمَاتِهِ. The words of your Lord, that Quran, this religion, is being complete with truthfulness and with justice. Not kedib. You're going to do something based upon, he said, she said, you're not sure where did you get it from. And it's not based upon being unfair and unjust emotions. Back to the square, as it relates to a Dajjal. The Nabi told us that he's going to come out, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, at the place that is known right now, which is in Khurasan. That's where he's going to start. And when he comes out of that place, he's going to wind up between Iraq and Syria in a Sham. And there's a special place for the Muslims. He told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, إِذَا فَسَدَ أَهْلُ الشَّامِ فَلَا خَيْرَ فِيكُمْ. If the people of a Sham, if they go bad, sour, they become corrupt, then there's no good in this ummah. The main meaning of that hadith is when Al-Mahdi comes later, close to Yawm al-Qiyamah, that's going to be the best place of the Ta'if al-Mansura, al-Furqat al-Najiyah. Isa ibn Maryam, people are going to make Umrah or a Hijrah to him. And he's going to kill the Dajjal in that area. The Nabi said, if this place becomes bad, there's no good in this ummah. Some of the scholars said it's general. Great scholar of Islam, and Imam Ibn Asakir has a book called Tarikh Damashq. Scholar wrote a biography about every single scholar that came into Damascus and lived there or left. Can you imagine that? Every single scholar who came into Syria, Damascus, and he lived there, and he wrote a biography of that individual. He was of the opinion that this hadith is general, that the people of Sham are special, and if they go sour, it's a sign and indication and a barometer for our ummah. Ala kulli, ala kulli. He's going to come out in that area. And this is one of the reasons why we find all of this drama going on in that area. Some people from our brothers who are politically oriented from the Jama'at of Siyasa, and the Siyasa is from our religion. In Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet told us, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, كان بني إسرائيل يسوسهم الأنبياء كل ما هلك نبي خلفه نبي. Ben Israel, their prophets were responsible for their politics. Every time a prophet died, another one would take his place. So we have siyasa in our religion, but siyasa of al-Islam, not the siyasa of Democrat and Republican and all of these qawa'id and Yahudiya that these people come up with. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The ends justify the means. So when we hear people talking about what's going on right now in Syria and in that area, all we hear people talking about is the natural resources that the non-Muslims want in that area. And that's true. The natural resources, when they went into Iraq and attacked Iraq on a premise that was a kadhib, it wasn't true. Weapons of mass destruction. They're trying to tap into the resources of that area. So many people talk about that. Why we never talk about what did the Prophet say about the situation? So Al-Mustafa Al-Mujtaba, he told us that that's the area where the Dajjal is going to come from, and what's going on right now, no doubt, is in preparation for that. Wallahu a'la wa a'lam. I don't want something to go under the radar and you miss it, because it is worthy of being mentioned and you knowing. A Dajjal is going to be slaughtered and killed by Isa ibn Maryam and nobody else. This is really important. There was a man during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ibn Sayyad, Abdullah ibn Sayyad. He was in Medina. He was a young guy. He used to be a kahin. He was a soothsayer. Someone you can go to and you can say to him, hey, I think somebody put magic on me. What, can you help me with it? And then he'll say, okay, drink this water, this, that. And he say, your mother-in-law did it. We have them right now. Prophet Muhammad said, anyone who goes to them and believes in them, he has disbelieved in what was revealed on Muhammad. He disbelieved in this Quran and this Sunnah. Because the Quran said, no one knows the unseen but Allah Azza wa Jalla. But this boy had that ability. And he was doing that during the Prophet's time. He was telling people, this is going to happen. It's going to rain tomorrow, and it will rain. He would tell the people, so-and-so, this is going to happen, and it would happen. It didn't always happen the way he said it, but it happened enough where he was a fitna. So one time, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was walking with Umar, and he saw the boy playing in the street. Rasulullah got behind a tree, and the boy couldn't see him. And he was watching the boy. His mother came out of their house and she saw the Prophet ﷺ, and Prophet Muhammad didn't see her. So anyone who says he knows the ilm al-ghayb, hazir nazir, how many times he in the Quran said he doesn't know? La ya'lamu al-ghayba man fi as-samawati wal-ardi illa Allah. Nobody knows the unseen. He would say, what's your name? Who owns this camel? So many things he didn't know. He's sitting there with his companions, eating from the Jewish lady, and he took the meat and he ate it and he swallowed his head. Don't eat, don't eat. It's poison. At that point, people started falling out dead from his companions. It was so strong. Years later, when he was dying, he said, I still feel the poison of that lady's meat. Point is, if he knew the unseen, do you think he's going to eat poisoned meat that going to kill his companions? But we're going to insist, when the Dajjal comes, people like that, the Dajjal is going to take you off of this square. Take you right off the square, easily. The lady saw the Prophet ﷺ between herself and her son. She said, hey, Abdullah ibn Sayyad, Muhammad is looking at you. Yuraqibuka Muhammad, he's looking at you. Prophet Muhammad said, if she didn't say anything, I was going to find out your reality. And then he said, last night, something was revealed to me. What was it? The boy said, Ad-Dahan. Some ayat from Surah Ad-Dukhan were revealed. So he was close. Ad-Dahan. When Umar was shot, Umar said, and this is the point, Ya Rasulallah, he is the Dajjal. Wallahi, let me kill him. The Nabi said, if he was the Dajjal, you won't be able to kill him. You won't be able to kill him. And if he's not the Dajjal, people are going to say, I kill people indiscriminately. You don't want to be the one who people curse the religion because of you. You don't want to be the one people hate Islam because of you. You're married to a Christian lady. You're married to a girl, she wasn't on the sunnah till she married you. But your behavior and your treatment of the lady is so bad. After the divorce, she leaves Islam, she leaves the sunnah because of you. The co-worker hates you. The neighbors hate Islam because of you. وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَيَسُبُّونَ اللَّهَ. Don't curse the gods of those people worship other than Allah. Don't curse their gods. Those guys turn around and curse Allah because you're cursing their gods. Don't be the reason why people hate Islam. When I came to this country a long time ago, after graduating, a long time ago, I was in London, Brixton. Long time ago. I take my wife to go to Umrah. We're in the airport. She gets my passport, my wife's passport. She says to me, is that the lady in this picture? Because she has niqab on. Is that the lady in this picture? 20 years ago. Yeah, that's the lady in the picture. Okay, have a good trip. After that, some Muslim shabab up in Bradford, they did something. Police came. A lady who's a policewoman, PC, got stabbed and killed. Muslim stabbed. He put the jilbab on with the niqab, got on the Naql Jama'i, on the National Express coach, and went to London. So now every woman with hijab and jilbab and niqab is a suspect. In America, some Muslims went into the bank with jilbab on, Philadelphia, with the niqab on, and robbed the bank. Now every woman who has that niqab on is a suspect. Don't be the reason why people hate Islam. Your tenant, the one who works for you, don't be that person. So the Nabi had that fiqh in many instances. You can't kill him, which goes to show us what? That the Dajjal is going to be killed by Isa ibn Maryam only. Only. It's the qadr of Allah, and that's how it's going to go. Another very important issue about the Dajjal, Ikhwani, and there are a lot of things, as I told you before, is that the people who are going to follow the Dajjal are going to be, as the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he's going to be followed by the non-Muslims and by the munafiqun. The munafiqun are those people from our ummah who say with their tongues what they don't really believe inside their hearts. يَقُولُونَ بِأَلْسِنَتِهِمْ. They believe with their tongues what their hearts don't really believe. And I'm not making anybody a real munafiq, but we have a lot of Muslims who really don't know our religion. They don't know their religion. She doesn't see a need to wear hijab at all. And if you talk to her, as a matter of fact, if one of you start to practice the religion with your secular family, if you start to pray, wear a beard, your family is going to oppose you before the non-Muslims will. I know that from a lot of situations. The person's own family will oppose him more than the non-Muslims. And that person's going to claim, I'm a Muslim and I love Allah. But the ayah said, many ayahs, لا تجد قوم يوادون لا تجد قوم يوادون من حاد الله ورسوله. You're not going to find that. You're not going to find a group of people waging war, being against Allah and His Messenger, sharing love. Muslims don't share love towards those people. It's a sign of hypocrisy. The Nabi told Abdullah bin Mas'ud, do you know what the greatest aspect of Al-Islam is? He said, no. What's the greatest aspect of Al-Iman? He said, I don't know. He said, Awthaq, Al-Iman, Al-Hub fillah wal-Bughd fillah. Your being here has proven, inshallah, you have Iman. You're here. You came to Jummah yesterday. That's proof you have Iman. You don't get any money. You don't get any special credit, students, for being here. You're here tonight when you could be home doing whatever you want to do. That's a dalil that you have iman. You grow a bread, wear thobe, you don't have isbal. All of that is a dalil. All of the things you're doing, they're proofs that you have an iman. He said that the greatest band, circle, button, proof that a person has iman is to love for Allah and to hate for Allah. We love what Allah loves, hate what Allah hates. Love who Allah loves, hate who Allah hates, and so on. The munafiq and the kuffar are going to people going to follow the Dajjal. So I'm mentioning that to say to you, our relatives who, when we look at them, we really don't see in them and with them Islam too much. You have a religious obligation, if you really love them, to continue to give them dawah, because Al-Islam is better for them, but also to be a protection for them from the Dajjal. Because people who are not connected to the deen are going to be the people going to be following him, because he's the one who can trick people, which is really important, guys. You know these magicians that are out there right now? I don't know the latest ones, but a few years ago, we had that guy who walked around all over the Thames River. What's some of their names? Dynamo. But some of the famous ones, what's their names? Dynamo. There's some new ones out right now. Huh? Blaine, he's fading away. Well, what's some new ones? New ones, because I saw a new one. He's on there and showing people about tricks. He's exposing their tricks. Anyway, many of us look at these people and we believe that nonsense. Many of us who have these smartphones, we get WhatsApp messages and we believe it right away. We send it to the next person. But in Islam, you have to have a minhaj. You have to have a minhaj, a usul of your religion. You can't just follow any and everything that comes to you. Something comes to you, you have to say, is this true? Is this true, or has it been played with? And should I send it out? Is there any benefit in sending it out? Or is there any harm? And if I don't know, is benefit, harm, true, not true, I'm going to follow that hadith. Da'ma yuribuka ila ma la yuribuka. Be what you doubt, what you don't doubt. This phone right here, we don't know how to use it. Any and everything that comes, we pass it out. We pass it out. Like our brother a few months ago in Ramadan, rahmatullahi alayhi, that brother who jumped off and he killed himself, committed suicide in Mecca. You guys remember that? Yeah. We say, rahmatullahi alayhi, wa ghafarallahu lahu wa lana. Whoever caught that on the video, whoever caught that, he has to say to himself, he wasn't there trying to catch that. He didn't know what's going to happen, and he catches that. The Muslim has to say, oh, wow, I caught this, wow. Now, when I send this out, what's the religion saying to me? He has to be able to formulate in his mind, halal or haram. And if he can't send it out. He can't be a fitna for the people. And if he sends it out and it comes to you, I get it. And I write, astaghfirullah, he killed himself, he's going to be in hellfire forever. Yeah, what are you talking about? You don't know that man's condition. You don't know that man's situation. Don't talk. You don't have to have an opinion. The way we are, and this is the point. I did that too hard. I hope I didn't break that. I would charge you guys. You don't want to break the glass in your phone these days, man. Everything is a hustle. Listen, Juan. The way we are in these issues, the stage of Dajjal is being set. Because simple things, we don't know. We don't think our religion has told us what to do in these issues. And that's not true. وَنَزَّلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابِ تِبْيَانٍ لِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ. That's what our Lord said. We revealed to you, Muhammad, a book that explains everything you need to know. Everything. I'm in Liverpool. I'm the Imam of Liverpool. I get brothers, and this is no knock on the countries I'm about to tell you. From Libya, from Syria, from Iran, from Kurdistan, Arab people come to me in my office off of the street telling me, I want to marry this lady. Just like that. Where is she from? She's from Indonesia. No wali, no witnesses, like that. Come on, Akhi, you must have sisters. Your sister didn't get married like that. That's from the simplest things of our religion. You know that. Sometimes we don't know. We don't know how to divorce. We don't know what to do for the istiqbal of the mawlud. New baby, we don't know what to do. And then this person is going to put himself forward and talking about this is jihad and that's jihad. This one is a kafir and this one is a mubtadi. Why is he a mubtadi? He's a mubtadi because he doesn't follow everything that Shaykh Rabi says. That's why. He doesn't follow everything you say. He's a mubtadi. لا يا أخي. أوردها سعد وسعد مجتمع. ما هكذا يا سعد تورد الإبل. Not like that. So, Ikhwani, this issue about the Dajjal, we sit here, you hear these things, you heard most of the things before. It's a dhikr. Well, dhikr tanfa'al mu'mineen. Main thing that I want you people to go away with today is, as the Nabi said, if you people knew what I knew, you would laugh less and you would cry more. It's not a joke. The Muslim, every minute of his day, the Muslim, the real Muslim, you know what jihad, fi sabilillah that we're talking about? And Imam Ibn al-Qayyim said that there were 4 levels of a jihad. He said that the highest level of jihad is a person make jihad against his nafs. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم المجاهد من جاهد نفسه في ذات الله. Fighting yourself. Second level, jihad against the shaitan. And shaitan, you make jihad against him with the shubahat and the shahwat. Third level, making jihad against the non-Muslims. You make jihad against non-Muslims with your lisan, with your money, with your, fighting them with the sword and so forth and so on. Fourth level, make jihad against the munafiqeen. People who are with us, around us. You make jihad against them with your lisan, not with your hand, because they're supposed to be Muslims. My point is, jihad, khilafa. The Muslim is a mujahid every minute of the day. He's a mujahid right now. He has to make tawbah for his relationship with his mother. It's not a good relationship. His ex-wife. He hasn't been taking care of his children. He has to learn the adhkar. He has to pray all of the prayers. He has to do more of what he knows. You got to learn the religion. How you make jihad against yourself? Jihad al-nafs. First, by doing what? Learning about the religion. Second, doing what? Practicing what you learn. Number 3, giving dawah to what you learn. Number 4, having sabr. All right, I learned quite a bit, but I never make salatul witr. I'm not a person who makes the sunnah, although I say I'm from Ahl Sunnah, and I want to be from Ahl Sunnah, but it's more kalam than it is actions. So we have a lot of stuff that we're going to be held accountable for. And one of those things that we have to be on top of the program is the issue of a Dajjal. Learning about that guy, that creation. Another thing, a Dajjal, Ikhwani, is a human being. He's not a system, the New World Order. He's not the TV. I remember some years ago when I became a Muslim in 86, some people had us thinking Dajjal was the TV. It was a good way of keeping us from watching the TV, but you don't have to lie to do that. Dajjal is not the TV. The Dajjal is a human being, and he has mawasafat. He has characteristics. His eye is protruding. One narration said his left eye, another authentic narration said his right eye. Yes. Now the munafiq, the arrogant person, he'll come and say, oh, this is why I don't take those hadith. Just give me the Quran. I'm from the Quraniyin. How can one hadith authentic say Bukhari, left eye, the other one say right eye in Sahih Muslim? How? I told you, as Allah said in the Quran, وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ لَوَجْدُوا فِي اخْتِلَافٍ كَثِيرًا. If it wasn't from Allah, la ikhtilaf. Look, ikhtilaf. Just give me the Quran. Yeah, you can't practice Islam with just the Quran. Give the man the Quran, give the other man all of the Sunnah. He's going to practice Islam better than you. You don't know who to marry, you don't know how to marry, you don't know how to divorce, you don't know how to welcome your child, you don't know about istinja, you don't know about so many things, you don't know how to pray, you don't know zakat, som, hajj, you don't know anything compared to the guy who has that sunnah. So when the Prophet was in the masjid, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one man came from that door and said, Ya Rasulullah, can I kiss my wife while I'm fasting? He said, yes. He left. They were sitting. Another man came from that door. Ya Rasulullah, same question. Can I kiss my wife when I'm fasting? He said, no. The man left. You didn't see Abu Bakr, Uthman, Ali, Ukash, those companions get up and say, man, just give me the Quran, I don't want the Sunnah. You didn't see that. You know what they did? They did what Allah told them to do. فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Ask the people who know if you don't know. They'll give you the plausible answer. So they asked their Shaykh, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, that man came and he said that. And then he came and said the same thing. It's like a kind of, what? He said, well, that man was an older man. He can control his desires. He can kiss his wife all day long because ain't nothing going to happen after that. May Allah protect us. Whereas this guy is a youngster. Oh, no, he shouldn't get married in the month of Ramadan, even. Because if he gets married in the month of Ramadan, it's a fitna. Wait till Ramadan finishes and then get married. I don't make Ramadan haram, but it's a fitna. He said, this man is a shab. And I don't think he can control himself. Now the situation becomes clear. There's no contradiction. There's a plausible explanation. And ikhwani, isma'u, wantabihu. The ulama of Islam, they have not left any stone unturned. Everything we need to know about our religion in 2018, 1,433 years after this hijrah of 34, 35 years, whatever comes up, the ulama of Islam, yesterday, today, have not left any stone unturned. So these issues like this, things that seem to conflict and contradict in the Quran and the Sunnah, the scholars came and wrote books about these issues. Mushkil al-athar. Whatever you need to know, you remember that. And that's why I want to tell you young brothers, listen to me. Hey, Yahya, Ahmed, if you see a person talking bad about the scholars, and I'm not saying that scholars are infallible, ma'asumun, I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying there are not any bad scholars. No. Some scholars are fitna. If you see anyone giving general wholesale rulings against the ulama of Islam, you run away from him, as the Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about the abras, the person who has leprosy. He said, "Firru min al-majdum, fararakum min al-asad." Run away from the person who has leprosy the one way you run away from a lion. Now, if a lion were to come into this room right now, I know some of you, especially the young people, very inquisitive. Many of you will say, oh, wow, look at his lihya. Oh, wow, it's so beautiful. Oh, never knew I would get so close. And he's walking towards you. That lion don't mess around, brother. Me, because I know the danger of the lion. I'm going to break the door down that has a lock on it. I'm going to break through that door because I know the nature of the lion. Lion ain't no joke. But some of you, oh wow, look at that lion. It's so strong. Got a big lihya. I'm going to go and touch him. And that happened with some non-Muslims. They went into the lion's cage. And he wasn't even drunk. People are like that with the Dajjal. Oh wow. David Blaine and this. Look at these tricks he's doing. He made it rain and this. Go the other way. How are you going to know he's Dajjal? He has written on his head, kafir. His eye is jammed up. He's going to claim that he's Allah. He's going to be able to do all these miraculous things and trick the people. But you are a person with aqidah. You're a person who memorized the first 10 ayat of Surah Al-Kahf and the last 10 ayat of Surah Al-Kahf. So you're protected. You read about aqidah. You took the sunnah. Look what happened. Importance of the sunnah. Give me the Quran and not the Sunnah. The Kadhabun. Listen, the Nabi told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Dajjal is going to come. Bismillah. And many people would have followed him. And there will be a group of people still waiting. They still waiting. The Dajjal says to the people, a man will come and say to those who are still not sure, hey, this is the Dajjal that the Prophet warned us about, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Dajjal will say, listen to this. Hey people, if I kill this man and bring him back to life, would you then believe that I am Allah? Because I give life and death? They say, yeah. He will cut that man in half and walk between his torso. Walk between them. turn back on them, bring them back together, bi-idhnillah. Give them life. The way Isa ibn Maryam gave life to the dead. The man will stand up after being cut. Dajjal walking through him. He's going to stand up and say, hey, I have no doubt now that he is the Dajjal. Because the prophet told us this is going to happen. Before I'm telling you he's the Dajjal, now he did what the prophet told us. And he did this thing. He said, I have no doubt. Scholars of Islam said, this hadith shows the importance of the sunnah. Because the man said, I have no doubt. This is the one who the prophet told us, the sunnah told us about the Dajjal. You won't find the word Dajjal like that in the Quran, but it's mentioned in the Quran. So the one who says, I don't want the hadith, you can't believe in the Dajjal. It's not mentioned in the Quran. As a result of that, he's going to be taken off of the square. Masakin. Last thing that I want to mention from the many things that I wanted to mention, and there are really a lot of things that could be mentioned. Is the need that we have to just sit with our families and to go over our religion with our families. There's a Muslim school in Birmingham where they were teaching the classroom last week about a good witch and a bad witch. So your children and my children have to do a task given to them by the teacher who's a Muslim, not a non-Muslim. I want you guys to break off 4 at a table and come up with a magic potion for the bad witch to drink to make her a good witch. Our children have to be those people who, because you've been exposing them, you've been dealing with them, our children have to be those people who say, excuse me, Ustada, with all due respect, magic is haram. I don't think my dad would be happy with this. I don't think my mother would be. Why are we doing this? Our children have to be like that. But their child won't be like that, for the most part, if you're not educating your kid. And that won't be like that. Abu Bakr, everybody knows Abu Bakr's virtues. He's the best human being after the prophets and the messengers, salawatullah wa salamu alayhi. Best human being. But he has many virtues. One virtue people don't know about is, there's a hadith, any man who grew up 2 girls until they reached the age of puberty and he married them off, there'll be a hijab for him from the nar. Abu Bakr grew up Aisha and her sister Asma. Our 2, Aisha is our mother, Asma is our auntie, Khalatuna. Listen to the point. When the Nabi wanted to make hijrah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from Mecca, or before that he would go out the outskirts and he was hiding with Abu Bakr before making hijrah. It was Abu Bakr's daughter Asma who went to the outskirts of Mecca bringing them food night after night after night until they finally left. That girl, lady, radiyallahu anha, was able to do that because of the tarbiyah of her father. Leave your house and go through the desert to the outskirts and bring, wolves, scorpions, this, that, highway robbers, bandits, kuffar. She did that because her father taught her all of those things we have to teach our kids about aqidah. The Prophet said to Aisha, I need to talk to you. I'm going to put something to your proposition and I want you not to make a decision before you go and you ask your mother and your father. And then he read the ayat from Surah Al-Ahzab, where Allah Ta'ala told him to tell his believing wives, his wives, if you people want the hayat, if you want Allah and His Messenger and the Dar al-Akhirah, then Allah has prepared for them a good reward. If you want the dunya, then I'm going to give it to you and free you. I'm going to let you go. He said, I want you to go tell your mother and father about this before you make a decision. Do you want to stay with me or not? She said, Ya Rasulullah, is this the thing you wanted me to go ask my mother and my father before? He said, yes. She said, I don't need to ask them. I want Allah and His Messenger and the Dar al-Akhirah. In the absence of her father's not there, she knows how to handle the situation. Father doesn't sit with her at a young age, and he's spending time with her. She goes to the university, some fast talking, slick talking out of the side of his neck jokers start coming and start giving her those crazy, corny lines. And before you know it, she eloped with him. Before you know it, she married him without your permission. Before you know it, she went over to Syria. Before you know it, she didn't spend any time with your kids. We have to sit down with our kids, ikhwati fillah, and we have to deal with these issues. And lastly, in this masjid, you guys, I heard the Imam speaking about the activities that happened today. That should be the norm. The norm should be the masjid is the hub of activity. Activity for the women, activity for the shabab, activity for the community. So that, inshallah, issues like this are dealt with and we continue to strengthen our brotherly bonds. This is what we wanted to present. Want to thank our brother Imam Abdul Bas and the administration here giving us the opportunity to come to remind the community of this issue of a Dajjal. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.